The art of enticing a fish to take a bundle of feathers tied to a hook is the latest course of study for the Bass Professor Doug Hannon. Fishing a fly from the Arctic Circle to the Tropic of Cancer. That's the focus of today's Sportsman's Challenge. Misty mountain pools filled with hungry trout are the source of sweet dreams for fly fishermen the world over. But this is no dream for our Doug Hannon. He's on top of the world, at the top of the world, on the island of Soroya. Soroya is above the Arctic Circle, just off the coast of Norway. Doug's honing his fly fishing skills with one of the world's best fly casters, Torill Kolbu. Torill is also an innovative fly tyer who shares with Doug a passion for observing nature's signals and for using those signs to catch fish.
Got him?
Got one. It's not big, but the mountain trout are not so big either. Here, look.
You need help?
No, I should be able to let this size
to land that one, right?
Yeah.
How can they be so gold?
Look
The
at
red
this.
is so striking on this.
Yeah, look at these beautiful colors.
Is that an imported fish? It's a German brown trout?
No, this is a native Norwegian
Species.
Yeah, species.
Okay. That's a
Pretty.
beautiful, beautiful trout.
Yeah.
You can turn him loose, I guess.
Yeah, I will.
There he goes.
Yes.
He's coming back.
Yeah, next year he will be a little bit bigger.
Maybe I can catch him there.
You're welcome to come and try.
Today, Doug and Torill are watching for mountain trout to rise to the surface. That's the first clue to determining a good strategy.
I see some rises over there, Doug. I think we should take the boat and go out for those fish because we cannot reach them from the bank.
Yeah, I sure couldn't. Okay. I'll start out rowing, okay?
We could just go out here somewhere and drift.
Drift and cast at the shoulder,
Yeah, because
or
we're-
cast anywhere.
Yeah. We'll really not move up there. It will.
The telltale mark on the water materializes and both anglers zero in on the target.
Who taught you how to fly cast?
My uncle started me the first night, and I caught his hat.
You caught his hat?
Yeah.
Oh, he came and got it right off the surface.
You got it. Very good. You have to keep your rod up.
Okay. He's not jumping, but you know.
Not all trouts are doing that. He's coming. You have a lot of line out this time.
Yeah. I threw right very close to where he rose, and it surprised me. You know, I haven't done this before, but these are so beautiful. It is a brown, isn't it?
Yes, it's a beautiful little brown.
Look at the colors on it.
Okay.
Can we? Oh. You know, this is my first trout.
It is?
Yes.
Congratulations.
You call this an emerger?
Yes, it's a Cadiz emerger.
You know, Torill, a fish like this in this cold water can be quite older than we would think. It's not just as small as it is, just born this year, is it?
No, the fish can be quite old. For this fish could be 3 years old.
3 years.
Yes, because it's cold water up here, and it's not so many insects. And the meat up here in the fish is red because the fish feed on freshwater shrimps.
Freshwater shrimp?
Yes.
Oh, so it's the iodine in the shrimp.
Yeah.
You know your fish. The trout, I think, are the most beautiful and elegant of all the fish in the water.
Yeah, they are. And those are the smartest ones too.
You've heard that by me.
This mountain hideaway is but one of thousands in Norway. We'll visit another spectacular spot as Doug and Torill head further south when Sportsman's Challenge continues.
Skeeter presents Sportsman's Challenge is brought to you by Skeeter Performance Fishing Boats, Yamaha Outboards, Proven Technology, Stanley Baits, we set the standard, you set the hook. And don't be sorry, use America's strongest, Berkeley Trilene.
The trek south leads to the second postcard perfect valley. Its water teeming with sport fish like brown trout, char, and grayling.
Torill, it's such a beautiful river. Tell us a little bit about what we're doing today.
Yeah, this is River Lågen beside Ringebu, and we are going to fish grayling in that river today.
Grayling, the one with the big fin.
Yes, it is. And it's a lot of birds picking insects on the surface down here now, so we'll have a nice hatch today.
But you're going to make all the insects today, aren't you?
Oh, yes. And we are going to fish with dry flies, because the fish is rising.
Great.
Yeah.
Torill, so much history in this area. I can't help but notice this beautiful church behind us, built in the 12th century, over 800 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. And this is a very old style of making churches from Norway. It's not many left, only maybe 15, 20 of them.
Really, in the whole country?
Yes.
Fishing is also a centuries-old tradition in this area. Even today, the River Lågen is the setting for world-class fly fishing competitions.
Okay. We just wait for some couple of minutes until the...
There's one.
Yeah. You saw fish rise?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. What you do is you put out some line, and you make sure that your fly don't strip too much on the way down. You give line.
Oh, okay.
And when you have passed or come close to the fish, you just hold it, so your line will make a swing, and you retrieve it.
I can't believe it.
It's perfect.
I got the first one.
Yes.
But I haven't caught him yet.
Here he comes.
Is it a grayling?
Yeah.
Oh. Big fish. Is it? I've never seen one in my life.
It's fantastic. I'm very happy you got the first one.
You have the fin?
Yeah, it's a grayling.
You know, I saw him rise and I thought I had seen him rise, and then I looked and my line was there. Skinny bit.
You want it?
And I caught him. No, let's let him go.
Yeah.
Doug may not be ready to compete against the world's best, but a little beginner's luck allows him to hold his own today.
Torill, tell me what's happening. Actually, what are we trying to do with our flies in terms of the fish? I just got another one. See, I'm asking you, telling you by my question, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm catching a fish.
I saw some caddies coming on the water. So it's, and you're fishing with a floating pupa.
It's actually the insect that you saw in the water.
Yes.
That the birds are feeding on.
Yes. Those insects is what the fish is eating now.
There he goes. The clouds are so low, it's neat.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think about it that way, but I mean, they're right down on us, but really that's not it. We're up in the clouds. So she lays her line off to the side to generate the slack here, so that the drift is perfectly natural. There he was. Fish on. I can see how this would be fun. That's the biggest one yet. I'm gonna get out of the water.
You have the, I need a net. Could you pass me the net?
You can do everything yourself. See, I have to have someone help me. That is a big one.
Sweet dreams are made of outings like this. However, most diehard anglers tend to savor these moments, then look ahead to the next fishing challenge.
I'd love to come and try to fish tarpon.
For Doug and Torill, the challenge is worlds away, in the heart of the tropics, where dreams are created under the Southern Cross instead of the North Star. Travel along with us as Sportsman's Challenge continues. Doug, time to stop dreaming and start fishing. Because dreams here in Belize are often silver-plated in mined in the fertile flats just off the coast. The world's second longest barrier reef protects all forms of sea life. It offers a vast array of angling opportunities. Doug and Torill are headed to a newly developing area in the southern part of Belize, to the town of Placencia.
It is a fishing village, isn't it?
That's right. And we came here as fishermen to visit fishermen because the people that live here were commercial fishermen and they make their living out of the sea.
And the water is quite warm here.
Yeah.
So it has all different species you can dream of.
I mean, the water and the beauty of the colors that we saw out there.
It's beautiful.
It's hard to believe a place exists like this in the world. That's it's almost as if it was saved for us, isn't it?
Here we are.
Yeah, we made it.
We made it.
To Placencia, anyway.
Yes. Look, there's hammocks. It must be a very popular article over here.
Yeah, I think that this is the one country in the world where hammocks have been elevated to an art form. You know?
Yes.
They must use them a lot here.
Yes.
With all the colors.
I think the main street is up here.
It is?
Fishing may be the economic heart of Placencia, but the village has another curious claim to fame. A ribbon of cement that keeps the life force flowing from one end of town to the other.
What we're walking on is not a sidewalk, it's a street. This is the main street of town. And didn't you say that in the Guinness, it's in the Guinness Book of Records as the narrowest street in the world?
Look, those we grow inside the houses in Norway.
They do? Hibiscus?
Yes.
It is fishing that brought Doug and Torill here. And for Torill, a fishing trip begins at a fly tying vise. It is mid-May, several months away from tarpon season. But local fly fishing guide Kurt Gottfried says there are always a few around. The allure is too strong, so a tarpon fly it is.
You know, Kurt, these fish are often feeding on incredibly large concentrations of very small fish. So what we have to do, I guess, is to exaggerate the qualities of one of these little greenback bait fish that they're feeding on so that it gets noticed among all of the other bait fish in the area. You know, what you're getting her to do is add this little bit of flash and make it a little fuller bodied.
Yeah.
And then have it sink so it gets down very close to the fish so they don't have to move far.
You see, what we're getting off from is to imitate one single injured bait fish.
Yes.
You know, he would go for an injured bait fish because it's pretty easy for him to pick out.
There.
Torill's an expert at tying flies for almost anything that swims in the sea. So she and Doug will be ready just in case tarpon remain a dream and not a reality. They're off to the tarpon's island haunts, and Sportsman's Challenge continues.
Skeeter Presents Sportsman's Challenge is brought to you by Yamaha Outboards, proven technology. Don't be sorry. Use America's strongest Berkeley Trilene. Mustad, the fishhook people. Be sharp. Use Mustad. And Pinpoint, leading the network fishing revolution.
Gentle waves break along tropical isles which support a rich undersea world. It's a world which Kurt knows well.
Most of our tarpon,
Yeah?
and here they follow a bait fish. So we
bait
look for
fish?
them with the bait fish.
Uh-huh.
If there's no bait fish, there's no tarpon. Sometimes we sightseeing them, sometimes we just see them rolling. I'll be up here instructing you
That's good.
how to put the cast, where to lead the fish,
Do you cast in front of them or?
across their nose. Because
okay.
we're seeing them maybe in 4 feet. So mainly we are looking like along the mangrove, the shadow, anyway out to 12 o'clock. If I give my brother a good 60 feet direction, he's just gonna swing the bow on us. He's just gonna push the bow this way, so we're casting down that way.
In two mangroves?
Yeah, normally they like to cruise along the bait fish.
Yeah.
The tarpon remain an elusive dream this day, but Doug and Torill have come prepared, and Kurt knows a spot nearby where another prized species swims among the bait fish. It's a good move.
Over there?
There, right there.
Sinking. Sink tip is having the last. Get a little bit more. Otherwise I think you will break my tippet. Here it comes. Yeah, they're very strong. Like a very strong grayling.
Incredible.
Here it comes. Is it just taking or? There he is. It's beautiful. This is the first bonefish I have ever caught.
Or Caribbean grayling.
Yes.
You can see why they're so fast, because they're built like a fighter plane with no wings. Look how silver they are.
Yeah.
I mean, that is more silver than metal.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
The bonefish sparks visions of another fishing adventure, one which will come to life on next week's Sportsman's Challenge. Join us when Doug and Torill take to the flats in search of more sweet angling dreams. Bass Professor takes a field trip. He's boning up on the universal language of fishing on today's Sportsman's Challenge. Fishing is an endeavor which can bond participants in almost magical ways. Culture and language barriers become insignificant.
A little more left. More left. Okay.
The pursuit of aquatic treasure becomes the common goal.
Hit the water.
The perfect bait, a well-placed cast, a worthy prey. These are the source of pure fishing pleasure and something every angler appreciates. Today, the pleasure trip begins in the shallow water flats just off the southern coast of Belize with adventurers from 3 worlds. Our own Doug Hannon, Norwegians Geir Sivertzen and Torill Kolbu, and Belizean guides Earl and Kurt Godfrey. Doug Hannon is not content to rest on his accomplishments in bass fishing.
What we're doing here is bone fishing, and all you have to do is look around to see this is a virtual aquatic paradise. The water is so shallow, when these fish come up on these sandy and grassy flats, you literally have to get out of the boat and go with your guide and stalk them as Torill is doing. And then you've got a spotter and someone to handle your line, and someone with some experience, because neither of us has done a lot of this fishing and certainly don't get a chance to visit a place like Belize very often. What she's doing is sighting the fish and trying to cast just 2 or 3 feet in front of them without spooking them in water that's probably only that deep. It takes about a 12-foot butt section of monofilament leader in the end of your line, and you have to land the fly line in such a way that only the mono crosses the path of the fish so that you don't spook them and start a slow strip. And if you're lucky, you'll connect.
One thing avid anglers like Doug and Torill have in common is their passion for observing everything in the environment. Even the smallest living creatures affect the fish and fishing in some way or another.
This is what they look for to feed on.
Oh,
So maybe you could tie a fly like that.
yeah, I have green ones with me.
There's another kind right here too. A different kind of crab.
Yes.
It's a little more lighter color, brown.
Yeah, he's coming down.
And different shape.
There he is.
He has a different shape to it.
Yes.
This one is called a decorator crab.
Yeah.
It grows these
Yes.
same things to hide itself. If you could tie a crab like that, you might probably get a permit on every cast.
Getting in tune with nature is necessary to angling success. But so is casting the right bait in the right place. It's time to fish.
Got one. He's strong.
Oh, it's a jack.
Yes. Yes. It has these long teeth.
No, I'll show you this.
Barbs on the back.
I'll show you the secret. They got the really bad barbs on their back that are poisonous. On their spine. But if you grab them by these spots,
Uh-huh.
they stop.
Ah.
That's there just so you can grab them by those. And you take your hook out.
You have to hold it. There.
It's a pretty fish, but those are very bad.
Thanks.
The jack breaks the ice, but Doug and Torill have set their sights on tracking and catching a bonefish.
Oh, exactly.
Skeeter Presents Sportsman's Challenge is brought to you by Skeeter Performance Fishing Boats, Yamaha Outboards, proven technology, Mustad, the fishhook people. Be sharp, use Mustad. And don't be sorry, use America's strongest, Berkeley Trilene.
Like a rocket.
The bonefish has incredible strength for a creature its size. The only thing to do when you hook one is hang on.
You believe this fish? He's the ever-ready fish. He keeps going and going.
Bonefish are also easily spooked, so Torill watches and eases silently across the flats, waiting for her shot.
That's a first for me. They are the most metallic fish I've ever seen. It's no wonder they're so hard to see. I don't think he's going to have any problem reviving. Wow. First bonefish. We're coming to reel on the white sand.
You see them?
Yeah,
Here?
coming across the white sand, yeah. Good, good, good. Strip now. Where'd you go? Just like a grayling.
Yes, like a big grayling. Strong grayling. Oh, he passed off.
There are literally thousands of keys and shallow flats inside the reef. If one doesn't pan out, another will.
Yeah, they're right in the middle of them now. The most nervous school of fish I have ever fished on. Don't think they're feeding. Maybe when slip down in the weed.
That's okay. That one feel better?
Yes. You take it? Then? Nice.
He is. You need to get that slime. That's a Caribbean tradition.
Yes. Look.
Beautiful. He doesn't need any revival, trust me.
It's not like the sun.
Bonefish aren't the only prize species calling this place home. Torill is about to have a close encounter with another feisty game fish, one that's even more difficult to catch on a fly.
That's a permit. No one ever catches a permit on a fly in your time.
I have done it! Yippee! I have a permit.
This is wonderful.
That's great.
That is cool.
That's cool. Now I can say to everybody that I
Yeah, I
have
caught
caught
a permit on a fly. It was easy. What did you... We have to see this. That's a permit.
I have to touch it.
They get to 60 pounds. Is this right? He's so small I can't get the fly. His mouth? I was he missed that. The true sportsman. He doesn't.
Well, this is free though. The goldfish are coming back.
Geir Sivertzen has been content to be a silent partner in this cultural exchange until now. However, his interest lies in deeper waters.
It reminds me of the waves we have in Norway. Not like early today on the other side of the barrier reef. It's so shallow in there, you never have the big waves. But out here, it's more or less, well, what we experienced when you visited us in Norway.
It's not a cod, don't stop.
Finally, we got one.
Okay, go as fast as you can. When we give you break, paddle right now. All right, take out that flower, paddle.
Yes, it is. It's a barracuda.
Keep on going, keep on going. Don't stop. What?
Haha.
Barracudas have a well-earned reputation for being escape artists. But this guy did not get away. He was well hooked with the right hook.
Good.
Most people underestimate hooks terribly. They buy all this elaborate equipment, make all these choices of depth sounders, wet materials for their rods and all this, and they totally just tie a hook on and ignore the qualities of it. And I'd like to discuss some of the qualities of a fish hook, if you could help us with that today. That's your expertise.
Yes, I think it's important for sport fishermen to focus on the qualities of a hook, which hook to choose. You have so many varieties on the market, whether you're going to fish for bass, fly fishing, or deep sea fishing, you need to make the right choices. So we have put a lot of information on the packages.
You have a species here, the size, if it's a big game hook, have the material, the stainless steel, and you know, all of these things are important. Most fish hooks just give you a little bag, like what's left over here, and it's on the wall. And with this, I can immediately make the choices based on the size of fish I'm going after and the type of hook, the type of curve for, say, this species, which is tuna, the right type of point. We even have a chart that shows the point penetration force required, and a lot of good information about the hooks to help people make the right choice. And I'm really glad to see this. I think we've gone a long way with it, but I want to shift gears on you now because, you know, my favorite part of this thing is, and learning, is getting in the water with the fish and seeing actually what's going on down there.
Both Geir and Doug spend lots of time underwater, exploring the environment near their respective homes. Even though this seascape is worlds away, it is, in a way, very familiar to both of them. There are many more worlds, old and new, to explore. We'll take you there when Sportsman's Challenge continues.
Skeeter presents Sportsman's Challenge is brought to you by Skeeter Performance Fishing Boats. Stanley Baits. We set the standard, you set the hook. Abu Garcia. Tough tool built to last for life. And Hannon's 21st Century Interactive Computer Program. Locate and catch more fish.
Grum Point Inn, near Placencia on the southern coast of Belize, has been home base for our crew. The area is blessed with swaying palms pushed by gentle breezes and a white sand beach. Ocean currents drive most all activity along the coast. But the smaller ribbons of water draw visitors like Geir and Torill into a lush new world. These mountain valleys are vastly different from the ones they fish at home. Bananas may be common in Norway, but they don't arrive quite this fresh. This is the New Belize. However, an ancient heart still beats under jungle cover. The Maya left their mark centuries ago. Slowly, their cities are being reclaimed from the vegetation which so thoroughly hid them. The site is called Lubatun, which is Maya for a place of fallen rocks. There is no mortar between the stones. They were cut precisely to fit together. Remarkably, much of the stonework is intact today. Visitors like Geir and Torill are a big part of the future for Belize. As their footsteps cross ancient paths, they create new ties. Ones that transcend culture and language barriers with a rod and reel and a fish hooked at the end of the line.